Manga-Waido.
I am Emi Hayakawa, 34 years old. I'm the wife of a detective. My husband, Kenichi, is a childhood friend who confessed to me that he would protect me for the rest of my life. So we started dating and got married when I was 20. Kenichi, who had always been a quiet man, remained as reticent as ever. After the birth of our child, how is it? I made it from a recipe I saw on TV. Is it good?
Yeah.
I'm glad. It's always like this. He's been especially tired lately and falls asleep as soon as he gets home from work and takes a bath. We're like a married couple in disguise. Still, I trusted Kenichi, who worked hard for the family. But when my son Masashi entered the 6th grade, come on, hurry up! You'll be late.
I don't want to go.
What? Masashi suddenly refused to go to school. This has never happened before. So I got worried. During the beginning of the week, I was somehow able to convince him to go, but... What? Masashi didn't come to school? I got a call from the school and rushed out to look for him. Where did he go? Was he kidnapped? Then I got a call from my husband, Kenichi. He told me that Masashi was stopped by a police officer while he was wandering around in front of the station and was now being kept at the police station.
I can't leave work. I'm sorry. You go.
Okay, I'll be right there. I immediately went to pick him up. Why did you skip school? Did something bad happen? I'm sorry I made you go.
It's not your fault.
But...
I'll go tomorrow. It's fine, right?
Masashi ended up staying in his room. I didn't know what happened. I talked to Kenichi when he got home.
I'll leave it to you.
I don't know what to do either.
I'm sure Masashi would feel more comfortable talking to you, since you regularly talk to him.
But... For the time being, he expressed his intention to go to school the next morning, so I walked Masashi to the main gate. I went to the staff room and talked with the head of the year, and it seemed that Masashi was being ostracized in his class. The head of the year also said that he had not heard the details yet, so I talked to Masashi again. It's about time. Can you tell me what's going on? When I asked him patiently, Masashi finally opened his heavy mouth. Apparently, a classmate who was good friends with him was making fun of a timid classmate by saying bad things about him. Masashi warned him about it, but...
They say, don't get ahead of yourself just because you're a cop's kid, or you think you're so righteous. After that, they started ignoring me. It made it hard for me to go to school. I'm sorry I skipped school.
Thanks for talking to me. So, how do you feel about you defending your friend?
I don't know.
I don't think you did anything wrong. I'm proud of you for doing the right thing. So, you just have to stand tall, as long as you don't mind the kids ignoring you.
I know that! What do you know, Mom?
Masashi! Masashi locked himself in his room again and missed school again the next day. I wanted to talk to him, but he locked the door and wouldn't let me in. I was at a loss and asked Kenichi, who was just home off duty, for advice. Then...
Alright, let me talk to him. Masashi, can I have a word?
Masashi readily opens the door and invites his father in.
I heard, Masashi. You had a falling out with a friend?
It's their fault! It's not my fault!
Even if you weren't wrong, how did you say it?
What?
People tend to be harsh when they think they're right. What did you say to your friend when you got into a fight with him?
I kind of yelled at them.
How do you feel about that, looking back at your attitude?
I mean, I was out of line too, but they were yelling back at me too!
Neither of you were calm, right? Why don't you try and talk again when you both calmed down?
But...
You won't be able to come to an understanding if you try to bring them to their knees. You're a good talker. I believe in you.
Okay, I'll try.
Unlike when talking to me, Masashi was very honest. I wonder if there's something that men can understand between each other? Anyway, Masashi went to school the next day. I dropped him off and also met with the head of the year and told him what had happened. A few hours later, Masashi came home and his face looked somewhat cheerful.
I made up with Ryota and the others.
I see, that's great.
Mom, I'm sorry for worrying you.
No, it's okay. A meeting was held in the presence of the teachers. Masashi and the children, who had been ignoring him, had a long talk and were able to reconcile with each other. In the end, Kenichi's words must have resonated in Masashi. But when I told Kenichi about Masashi when he got home, he said only one word: good. He was quiet as ever and never made any effort to help me after visiting the school so many times. Thanks to Kenichi, the issue was resolved. I guess it's wrong for me to seek words of comfort. After that, peaceful days continued for a while. Or so it seemed, until a few months later. What? No way. A breast cancer screening revealed an abnormality in my left breast, and I received a notice recommending a recheck. My heart sank violently at the thought that I might have breast cancer. My husband, Kenichi, to this news.
It hasn't been confirmed yet, has it?
Yeah, but
You shouldn't worry too much.
I was shocked at how curt he was. After that, Kenichi seemed to be busy with the case, and as soon as he got home, he went into his room to sleep. Fine, I'll show him how to get over it alone. But on the day I made my decision, something happened to me that made things worse. What? Kenichi? Who is she? What are you doing out here off duty? The two left the cafe and went into an apartment. The woman had her key out and opened the entrance, so it must have been her house. Is he having an affair? But it's Kenichi of all people. I desperately told myself that, but the doubt remained. Then I casually watched Kenichi and noticed that he touched his phone more often than usual, and often went out, even on his off-duty days. Could it really be? And finally...
Yes. On October 4th, with an open-air bath.
Phone call? With who?
Yes. A room with a view, overnight, please.
Kenichi had obviously booked a hotel. Of course, I was not consulted about the trip at all. No way. With that woman. All this time, I tried my best to support Kenichi. I believed that Kenichi loved me, even if he wouldn't talk to me. I was so shocked that I couldn't stop shaking. But so far, the evidence is only circumstantial. I need to gather hard evidence. While I was thinking about that... Oh, you had work today?
My coworker got sick. I'm going to be working for a while.
I see. Okay. Have a safe trip.
Yeah.
Kenichi rushes off on a day he was originally off duty. Maybe he lied and said he was on duty to meet his partner. Just to be sure, I followed after him. And then, Kenichi enters a jewelry store. Kenichi came out in a few minutes with a cute little package in his hand. He's never given me a present before. You must really like that woman. I managed to get home, but I didn't have the energy to turn on the light, and I sat on the sofa, unable to move.
I'm home! Whoa! It's pitch black!
Oh, sorry. I didn't make dinner.
What are you doing here? You didn't even turn on the light!
Nothing.
Are you okay? You look pale.
I stood up, pretending to be fine. And that's when it happened. My phone rang, and with a sense of foreboding, I answered to find out it was from my husband's colleague. What? Kenichi was taken by an ambulance? According to the colleague, Kenichi was at a bar when the criminal being arrested started causing a scene, and he was hit with a beer bottle while trying to protect the staff. He suffered a severe head injury, lost consciousness, and was taken to the hospital. Immediately, I picked up a taxi and headed for the hospital with Masashi.
Mom? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
No. You don't look okay at all.
I'm fine, don't worry.
You need to talk to me. When I didn't go to school, I was honest with you.
I was pressed, so I told him about Kenichi's alleged affair. Your father was with a pretty woman, and he was at a jewelry store today, buying a present.
Oh, good. That's what you mean.
What? Good?
Actually,
I think your mother is anxious because of her illness. I want to thank her for everything she's done for me, but I don't know how to do it.
Well, you're not a good talker after all. Oh, how about this? That's why I suggested you two go on a trip together on the day you started dating.
What? So that's what the phone call was about. Apparently, that jewelry was also a necklace that him and Masashi picked out together to give to me.
You know better than anyone that Dad isn't capable of having an affair in the first place.
Indeed, Masashi was right. Kenichi is stiff, brusque, and impassive, and therefore gets misunderstood by many people. But he is straightforward and actually a kind person. And yet, I was upset and suspicious. How shallow I was. I'm sorry. You're right, Masashi. It was stupid of me to doubt your father.
Right? You should apologize when he wakes up.
While we were having such a conversation, we arrived at the hospital. Kenichi had not regained consciousness yet, and Masashi and I held hands and continued to pray desperately. Please, God, if it's punishment, give it to me. After a few hours of praying, are you okay? It's me!
Emi, Masashi, I'm sorry for worrying you.
I'm the one who should apologize. I'm sorry. When I honestly told him that I suspected he was cheating on me and apologized for it.
No, it's still my fault. I got caught up in work and left everything to you. And it's true that I was seeing a woman. But that person...
That woman was a former colleague and a cancer patient. Apparently, she had already retired because of her treatment, and since he didn't know how to interact with me when he found out I might have cancer, to ask how to treat a cancer patient so he wouldn't hurt me by saying insensitive things. He also said that he went to her house to learn more about medical records and medications. You did it for me, and yet I...
No, it's my fault for not creating an environment where we could talk properly on a regular basis. Masashi, when you get home, can you give Mom the envelope I was going to give her on the trip?
After that, Kenichi's condition had calmed down, and Masashi and I went home. When we arrived home, Masashi brought an envelope from Kenichi's room.
This is from Dad to you, Mom.
To me? The letter contained Kenichi's thoughts and feelings for me.
Dear Emi, as you know, I'm clumsy. When Masashi was born, I made him cry when I held him in my arms, and changing his diaper was a mess. I didn't want to put you through the extra work, so I stayed away from childcare. I'm truly sorry. I began to devote myself to my work so that I would not cause you and Masashi any financial hardship, but because of this, I spent less and less time at home and gradually lost the things we had in common. I began to think that it would be boring for you to talk to me, so I only responded in a safe manner. You always treated me warmly, and you've not changed at all since we first met. You're cheerful and straightforward. You've always encouraged me and given me the energy to live. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I am so sorry that when you told me you might have cancer, I was so shocked that all I could do was say those words. But I want to continue to support you, no matter what happens to you. So please, don't hesitate to rely on me. I have always loved you, and I will always love you. Kenichi.
You thought so much of me. I'm so sorry I ever doubted you. A few days later, Kenichi was safely discharged from the hospital. As a celebration of his recovery, I laid out a table full of Kenichi's favorite foods. Congratulations on your release from the hospital, and I'm sorry for everything.
It's okay. You don't have anything to apologize for, Emi. I'm the one who's still not very good at treating you. I'm really sorry for worrying you.
Seriously? You tell me to be honest about my friends, but you can't even tell us about yourself?
I'm ashamed. I've reflected after this incident. I should have spoken up properly.
Kenichi...
Emi, even though I'm like this, please continue to take care of me.
Yeah.
Come on! The food's gonna get cold even if you two are getting hot. So how about you continue this later?
Yeah, okay. There are so many things I want to tell you. Let's have a talk later.
Yes, I also want to talk to you. After the meal, Kenichi was still not very good at using his words, but he told me how grateful he was for everything I'd done, how sorry he was, and how he felt about me. I felt like all the hardships I had gone through in the past had paid off. A few days later, my test results came back, and it was confirmed that the lump was not malignant. Kenichi and Masashi were both very happy, and there was finally peace at home. And then, wow, what a view!
I'm glad you're happy, and here, I hope you like it.
Kenichi, thanks. I love you.
It's in front of Masashi!
We promised each other we'd say it out loud from now on, didn't we?
Dad, you have to do it like a man here.
Mm.
Come on!
I love you too. Thanks again, Emmy.
Yeah!
His blushing red face was so cute. I hugged Kenichi with all my might.